Fractured Realities by Aida Adriana. In the heart of the bustling city, I wandered through the labyrinth of streets, attempting to create an illusion of solitude amidst the urban chaos. The world around me was a vibrant tapestry of human existence. Each step and movement was accompanied by a chorus of sounds that betrayed my illusion, a reminder of the bustling life that refused to be muted. The setting sun cast a warm golden glow that slowly faded into the indigo hues of twilight. As the daylight dimmed, the city lights began to flicker to life, transforming the surroundings into a mesmerizing spectacle. The once bustling city took on a different persona under the cloak of the night, a metamorphosis from a lively hubbub to a quieter yet equally vibrant entity. As I walked through the city, I attempted to distance myself from the symphony of human existence, the distant hum of traffic, the hurried footsteps of passers-by, the clinking of dishes from the nearby cafes. My steps echoed against the towering skyscrapers that seemed to loom over me, the windows reflecting the myriad of lights that decorated the cityscape. The constant movement of people created a sense of urgency, a rhythm that was both chaotic and harmonious. It was a symphony of life, a melody I had often been part of, but tonight I longed for it to fade into the background, to let me exist in my solitary bubble. However, the city was relentless in its presence. The distant sirens of ambulances and police cars wailed, a stark reminder of the reality I was trying to escape. I pressed on, my steps resonating against the cold concrete, each footfall grounding me in this world I wished to distance myself from. The city's alleys and corners held snippets of conversations, the ebb and flow of voices adding to the ambience, laughter, arguments, snippets of music, a chaotic blend of human interactions that shattered my attempted deception. The very fabric of the city seemed to buzz with the stories and lives of countless individuals. In a nearby park, children's laughter rang through the air, a pure and innocent sound that usually brought joy today. It carried a tinge of sorrow, a stark contrast to the illusion I was desperately trying to maintain. Their joyful play reminded me of the world that once was, a world that was slipping away from my grasp, a world that was no longer mine to inhabit. The city's heartbeat pulsed around me, the distant throb of music from clubs, the blaring of horns of vehicles, the rhythmic clattering of a passing train. It was a living, breathing entity, a relentless force that refused to be subdued, challenging my attempt to create a facade of isolation. I pressed my hands to my ears, trying to drown out the buzz, but the noises persisted, relentless and unyielding. They whispered in my ears, mocking my feeble attempt to detach myself from the reality of the world. The sounds danced in the air, a cruel reminder that I was never truly alone. A gust of wind swept through the streets, carrying with it the scent of street food, a blend of spices and aromas that made my stomach rumble, teased me. Even the sense of smell betrayed my imaginary seclusion, reminding me of the shared experiences of humanity, the joy of food, the pleasure of company. Yet this joy escaped me as I attempted to push it further from my reality. As I walked on, the constant buzz of voices and traffic became overwhelming. My vision blurred, the lights of the city merging into a chaotic haze. I stumbled, disoriented, trying to make sense of the sensory overload. It was as if the city itself rebelled against my endeavour to isolate myself, forcing me to confront the reality I wished to escape. As I continued my journey through the city, the familiar sights began to warp and distort, taking on an eerie quality. The once ordinary pedestrians began to have odd appearances. Some seemed almost translucent, their forms flickering like a faulty light bulb. Others had an ethereal quality, as if they were mere mirages in the urban landscape. My steps faltered as I passed by a couple, their figures glitching as if caught in a digital anomaly. It was as if reality itself was malfunctioning, revealing the underlying fragility of the world I had clung to, I blinked, hoping to dispel this strange vision, but the surreal tableau persisted. People seemed to phase through each other, their bodies merging and separating seamlessly, like overlapping fragments of a dream. My heart raced as I witnessed a man walk through a woman, his figure melding with hers momentarily before separating again. It was a disconcerting sight, a breach of the natural order that left me grappling for an explanation. Fear crept into my mind, gnawing at the edges of my sanity. I tried to make sense of the inexplicable events unfolding before me, but the strands of reality were slipping through my fingers. I desperately reached into the recess of my memory, struggling to pull up the truth that lurked just beyond my grasp. The distant memories started to resurface, fragmented and distorted, like flakes of a broken mirror, flashes of a world in turmoil, cataclysmic events, and an inescapable sense of loss danced before my eyes. My pulse quickened, anxiety clawing at my chest as the pieces of the puzzle began to align. The memory was like a floodgate opening, letting in the torrent of realization that I tried so hard to suppress. Scenes of chaos sunk into the pit of my stomach, the panic that had gripped the world as it teetered on the edge of oblivion. I recalled the blinding flashes of light and the deafening roars that reverberated through the land. The end of the world had come, a devastating event that shattered the fabric of reality. The memories surged through my mind, depositing with it an outpouring of sorrow and despair. I had been part of that tragedy, a victim of circumstances that had left me trapped in a liminal space between life and death. In that moment of clarity, I remembered the truth. I was a ghost, a mere echo of the person I once was. The bustling city, the people I passed, and the noises I heard were all fragments of my imagination, haunting residues of a reality long gone. The fantasy of a bustling world dissolved as if it was something that never was, and the reality of my existence as a ghost crushed me as I fell to my knees. Tears welled in my eyes as the memories washed over me, a tide of emotions threatening to engulf my ghostly form. I knelt, paralyzed by the weight of this realization, the city around me fading into a translucent haze. I was a lost soul, forever condemned to wander the echoes of a world that ceased to be. As the vision of the city dissolved, I found myself standing in a desolate void, the remnants of the urban landscape replaced by emptiness. The clamour of human existence was replaced by an eerie silence that enveloped me. I was alone, a solitary phantom in the vast expanse of nothingness, a ghost in a world that had faded into oblivion.